Hi, Steve from Chorus Guitar, and today we're going to be checking out the Jam 20 from Divitone, which is a smart guitar amp. And Divitone sent me this, so I didn't pay for it, but I don't get paid by Divitone for anything, but they do give me the equipment and I can keep it. So thank you, Divitone, for that. It's a smart guitar amplifier, as I said. It's got a 6.5-inch speaker inside, which is rather nice. And it's also got an internal battery, so this can run for 4 to 6 hours on battery power. That's very, very cool. Now the speaker inside this is a full range speaker, so it's not like a normal guitar speaker that you get in amplifier cabs. If you've seen my reviews for the Hotone pulsers and things like that, they've got full range speakers in as well, so very similar, but this has got a larger speaker, 6.5. So that's going to give you a little bit more bass response, I would imagine. Okay, so what else has this got on it? Okay, so what this has got, it's got 8 effects on it. Now, I do believe that will include the amp and the speaker, and it's got 140 different algorithms in there, effects algorithms. That's really cool. Also, it's got a built-in tuner, which we can kind of expect from most modern pieces of equipment like this. We really are super spoilt nowadays with equipment, that we really are. Let's have a look at the top here. What we've got is we've got this really nice covering, which looks very similar to a very famous amp, as well as the top has this like sort of brushed aluminium effect, and it looks very similar to yet another amplifier that we've seen before. So also on this amplifier we have a handle which can be attached on the side here. It's a nice, pretty strong handle. It's very, very good. And it just screws in on these special little screws on the side when you get the amp, which is really nice. It's a solid piece of kit. It's lovely, ever so well made. I really like it. Also included on this, we have 100 slots. We've got 50 presets for factory, and we've got 50 user slots as well. Right, another special feature of this is that this amp can download from Tone 3000 neural amp model captures. Now what that is it's basically where a device sends a signal through a real amp and speaker cab generally, and it will capture that sound of the amp as it is at that present time. So obviously, if somebody changes the EQ, the treble, the bass in the middle, then they might do a separate capture for that, because when you do get captures, you can adjust it a little bit, but not too much. So when you go to Tone 3000, you might find a file with lots of different settings, more gains, more trebles, more bass, so that you can download that and then you can choose which one you like and you can pop it inside this amp. So that's really cool. In a moment, we're going to have a look at the app that this comes with, as most of these smart amplifiers do come with an app, thank goodness. But you can use the little LED screen on the top there. It's a 1.77 colour one, and you can actually adjust that. I'll talk about that in a bit. Right, okay, this has AI integration as well. The amount of things you have stuffed into this modern equipment is just absolutely ridiculous. Consumers are having a heyday. It's fantastic. The AI integration that they do is where you use the app, which I'll go into in a bit. We'll do a kind of a brief run through of the app. You can tell it what kind of genre or what kind of sound you'd like, and the AI will try and reproduce that sound for you within the amp, which is really cool. This has also got a built-in drum machine, which you run from the app. It's got 100 rhythms in, probably has metronomes in as well, so it's ideal for a bit of practice. I wouldn't use the drum machines for sort of recording with, but for practice, they're ideal, really nice. Right, what this has on it also is what they call a one-touch vocal remover. Now, I've tried it, and what it does is if you have, for example, a backing track, well, not a backing track, an album track, or something on YouTube, which is the best things is with YouTube is to use sort of album tracks. What it attempts to do is it attempts to get rid of the vocal so that you can kind of jam along and sing along with it and whatever. I think it needs a little bit more work, to be honest with you. As I say, I can say what I like about this amp. A little bit more work with that, because it does reduce the vocal, but it doesn't get rid of it totally, I've found. And it actually, if you've got other instruments in that sort of central area, in the field, stereo field, it kind of makes them quieter as well. Would I use that function? I don't know. Probably not, but it's there all the same. And I'm sure Divitone are going to, you know, improve it as it goes along. But it's a cool idea. It's a cool idea. And as I say, I'm being very honest about this amplifier. And to be honest with you, it is a really cool amp. This includes Bluetooth 5.0. That means that you can simultaneously stream audio and use the app with it as well, which is a really nice touch. As I mentioned, this has a 1.77 inch screen, colour screen. You can edit on this screen by using the buttons down on the top here, these soft touch buttons, which is really nice. Also, you have these easy controllers to use, very similar to a normal amplifier, which I'm sure a lot of you really like, because quite a lot of my viewers are quite old school, and I can be quite old school about stuff too. And we like dials, you know, that we can just turn and whatever, which is really nice. So that's cool. As I say, you can also use the app for adjusting things, which is quite a simple thing to do. I've done rundowns with the Hot Tone and the Velton equipment as well, using apps, and thank goodness, you know, the manufacturers are making these apps really easy to use, so that's nice. And I'm going to have a look at that in a minute anyway, so that'll be cool. Right, the I/O on this amp, or the in and the out, that's what it stands for. What you've got is you've got the 3.5mm headphone socket, and you've also got an auxiliary in socket, so that you can physically, I think it's 3.5 as well, yeah it is, that you can physically plug something into this amplifier as well. So not only can you stream sounds via Bluetooth, but you can actually physically pop things into this amplifier. And it's also got a USB-C socket on the back, which means that you can record onto a DAW, which is a digital audio workstation, or basically a studio in your computer. So you can record from this into your computer, and it's got its own built-in kind of audio interface. That's really cool. So it's got an OTG on the back of there, so that's really nice. Now I do believe, I did say it's got an audio interface in it. I do believe, being OTG, that you might be able to record into your phone as well. So that's a great thing as well. Right, before we take a look at the app, I thought it'd be a really good idea to have a look at the physical buttons that are on top of the Jam 20. So let's have a look at those, and then let's have a look at the app afterwards, which would be a really good idea, I think. Okay, so let's have a look at those now. Right, what I'm going to do before I do the app is I'm going to show you how to operate the amp, and also you can program it and, you know, adjust your parameters and settings from the amp itself. You will have a little bit more control using the app, but you've got quite a lot of control on top of the amp. So let's have a look at that. And what I'm going to do with this tweed sound I've got, I'm just going to add a little bit delay to it. Okay, so we'll get that sorted out. So let's have a look at it. What we've got, just turn my volume down on my guitar so it doesn't make any noise, is we've got these controller buttons at the top here, which are just like you'd have on top of an amplifier, okay, which is really useful. And we've also got a parameter button as well, or a controller, but it does press in, that's why I call it a button. Okay, we've got exit and save, that's pretty self-explanatory. The AO is where you can cancel out the vocal that I was talking about earlier on. The BT, or you can reduce the vocal. The BT is your Bluetooth, you hold that in and that's how you connect your app. You've got preamp, drive, amp. IR, that's impulse response, so you can load in impulse response cabs and the like, and possibly the NAM stuff as well. That might be for that as well. The EQ, FX, delay and reverb. Okay, so we've got plenty of reverb on here. I might take that down in a bit using the app, but what I want to do is I want to add a delay to this. So if you look on the top panel here on the LCD, you can see that the delay, DLY, is not coloured in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press this soft button, and that will take me into the delay here, and it says off. Press the parameter button, and that switches it on. Okay, so now turn my guitar up, be a good idea. Now what I want to do is adjust that because there's too much feedback for me. Feedback meaning in the mix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oh, that's how you select your delays. Well, if I've just pressed that, you can see that we've got lots of different delays there. See? I'll just move my hand out of the way so you can see that. I'm going to go back to pure, wherever that was. I'll find it in a minute. There it is. Okay, and now once I've pressed that in, I can now go to the parameters and I can change them. So that's the mix, that's how much delay we've got. So if I want to take that down, I can press the button and I can adjust, as you can see, how much I have of it. Press the button again, okay, and I can go down to the time. I would like about 475 milliseconds, going the wrong way there. That'll do, 476 is good. And I want to change the feedback, because that's the amount of repeats I've got. I want to change that down to, well, I don't know, should we put it about 15? Let's have a listen to that. Maybe a few less. Let's take it down to 10, see what we've got there. That's cool. Okay, so that's how we do that. Then when we're happy with it, what we can do, just press that, we can press save and it will save it to the thing. I think you have to hold it a bit longer. I'm not going to save it on this particular instance. If you go to the other settings, as you can see, there's a noise gate on this, but there's lots of different selections that you can do on each one. It's not just one effect on these, there's multiple effects, which is really nice. As I say, we don't need a gate on a clean sound, a noise gate, but when you were using overdrives and whatever, we would use them. Okay, so that is how you can use these soft buttons to control the amp and save and do what you like. And then of course all your tweaking you can do with these dials as well, just like on a traditional amp. It's really quite simple, and that's very cool. So what we're going to look at now is we're going to take a look at the app, and I'm going to move the I'll move the amplifier out of the way a little bit because my phone's quite large that you're going to see the app on, and we might not get it all on. So let's have a look at the app, and we can hear how it changes the sound. I'll mic the amp up again, and everything's going to be cool. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so guitar in hand. Yeah, as you can see, this is what the app looks like. You've got you can edit the drums down here, and this also is where you can use that functionality so that you can tell the amp what kind of sound you want as well, which is a cool little feature. There's all sorts of various things that you can do with it. It's all pretty self-explanatory, but what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to look at this reverb by pressing on it. Okay, and it's dead easy. What you can see here is the amount of decay, which is how much reverb you're using. Okay, how much there is of the reverb. So if I play now, let me just take that delay off a sec so we can hear it a little bit better. I can turn it off and on there, see? Okay, go back to the reverb. I'm going to take that decay down a little bit. So let's say it's about 30, 31. Okay, and I can take that mix down. Oops, that's a little bit too far. Let's say it was on about 30, I think. You can actually just tell it. Let's go try 17. So now what I've done is I've taken the mix down and I've taken the decay down. So what we've got is a lot less reverb. Now you can, on the app, like I said, you can pick loads of different types of reverbs. There's plates, halls, all sorts of things in there. And the same goes for other effects that we've got as well. So if I go to, I don't know, let's have a look where drive is. Where is drive? We've got delay, reverb, drive. There we go. If I click on that, okay, this is... So that's a drive one, and I can adjust the volume and the gain. Let's take the volume down a little bit. So that's the tweed with it says it's a butter overdrive, whatever that is, not sure. It sounds nice though. Okay, and we've got what is based on a tube screamer overdrive there, super popular. Okay, so I can click on that. Sorry, did it wrong. Click on that and then go to OK, I think. Yeah. See, it's a bit more middly. Okay, and I can adjust the tones and the gain and the volume, dead easy controls. And then what I can do is I can go to more heavier, oh, it's even got bass drives on, that's very cool, we like that. Very nice. Okay, different distortions, 80s distortion. Okay, some people might call it a bee in a biscuit tin sound. It's a bit cruel, but that's what they call it. Okay, let's have a listen to that. 80s distortion. Yeah, it's certainly got a lot more gain. Now, what you can hear there is some hiss. Yeah? So if we go to the pre, okay, and activate the noise gate, there you go, it's gone. Okay? So that's why we would use a noise gate, because we don't want all that noise. Now, in the pre section, it's not just got noise gates, it's got compressors, it's got filters, it's got boosts. There's all sorts of things. This is absolutely jam-packed with effects. Okay, so now you can hear it again. I'm just going to turn that drive off. There you go. don't forget to save. Okay, don't forget to do your save. So that is basics of how the app works. It's quite a simple app. It's pretty self-explanatory, as are the ones that I've used with Veilton and Hot Tone and all that sort of thing. So it just makes it so much easier. Apps used to be pretty scary, or computer programs used to be a bit scary for some people. This is dead easy, and the nice thing about it is it's quite difficult to get a bad sound. You might find that with most manufacturers, what they do is the presets that they give you might be a little bit over the top on the reverb and the delays and whatever. So you can just take it down a little bit, and then you've got a very usable patch. Right, so that is the Divitone Jam 20. Now, if you could like and subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything to do that. I know people go on about this, but it can be the bread and butter of content creators, basically. Also, another thing is, if somebody's got an ad blocker, which I know ads can be a little bit annoying sometimes, the content creator doesn't get paid for any views for that. So yeah, so people don't realise that, and it can take a long time to make a video. It takes me about 14 hours to make a video on average. That's 2 days work. So we all appreciate it if you can like and subscribe and ring the bell and whatever, you know, tap the bell for notifications, and then you'll be updated on any new videos that come out. So anyway, thanks to Divitone for sending me this amp. It's a great little amp. I will be using it for my own personal use. It's quite loudish, as I said earlier, and I hope to see you for more videos. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon.